Hello everybody and welcome to Lucky by Nature. I am Beastdaemon and thank you for hanging out with me today. Please show your amazing support by smashing the like button, and if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so you can get your daily dose of ARC. On our last video for pro tips, I did show you guys about the Reaper trap that I use, and I got a lot of requests for me to basically show you how to build it, so that's what we're gonna do. And I basically was showing you the chords and pretty much the map of where I'm at, and I'm all the way to the east entrance, and in fact over here is where my original trap was, right here, right to our left, right here. This is where I originally had built the original one, but for this you need a spot that's kind of flat so you can use the foundations, and you don't have to get all fancy with metal or anything like that. Just make sure you use stone, because the Reapers can't hurt stone. Now as far as the materials that you're gonna use, if you want to do one just like this one, as you can see I have all those ceilings on top and it's pretty solid. You can get away with using 37 ceilings just like I am here. I'm just gonna go ahead and clear the area while I talk, because we can't be bothered while we build this. But you can get away with 37 ceilings, 21 pillars, and 49 foundations, and 1 behemoth door. But if you want it completely sealed, you can use the whole 42 ceilings and the 49 foundations. Now let's go ahead and get ready to set ourselves up where we're nice and aligned. So as you saw, I just barely went up on this ladder, and now I should be perfectly aligned. So let's go to orbit view so that way we can see where we're gonna set this behemoth door. And this time I'm just gonna turn it to this side, because I used to have it the other way, but now I think that it would work better coming from this side, because that's where I bring the queens from. And I am going to put them right on the foundations. So this is 7 by 7, and that's the, I think that's a good size. You can make it smaller for sure, but for me this is a good size for several different reasons. And one is that I can close the door while the queen is biting somewhere else, and it doesn't hit me. If it's smaller, then there's a chance that it can hit me, not that it would do a lot of damage to my Drake. So now we're gonna go ahead and set up our support not foundations, but our support pillars. We're gonna go 4 high, and now we gotta put our ceilings on the very edge. So let's go a little bit quicker here. Alright, so personally I do like to have 2 supports, so I'm gonna put this on this side, and you start from the bottom going up, so that way it'll end up the same as the other one, and that should be on the very top. I don't know if anything's showing on the very top, but now we go ahead and put in, oh crap, so we're gonna head and put in our outline. And the reason for this is because the Reapers go right through ceilings, and initially when I was coming up with this plan here, I did try just to putting ceilings, and I had 2 rows, one in the middle and one on the top like this, and they went right through, and I was like, oh no. But I knew that pillars actually stopped it, so, but I didn't want any on the bottom, so I figured that I could just use the very top ones like this. Alright, so now that this is set, as you can tell, I have not put all the ceilings up there because this is basically the bare minimums that you need. And don't forget that this is if you can make this trap if you want to keep the queen in there to have multiple pregnancies. Otherwise, you technically don't need to make a trap. Oh, I see one on all the way down to the left over there. I need to bring it over. You don't technically need a trap. Some people it's easier, but if you have a Drake, yeah, you don't really need one. I like it just because, you know, if we do find a good one, we can use the same Reaper Queen to for Vixen and I to get pregnant. So now we just gotta make our way back to our trap. And this is a really good area because there are a lot of Reapers. But as you can tell, I've killed quite a few. Just setting up the trap itself, I ended up having to kill some. And so a lot of them are cleared out, but you can always find some. Oh, there she comes. And this trap itself has been a work in progress, but I mean I'm pretty happy with it now, just because I can actually, you know, get pregnant so many times, so we don't need to bring a bunch of Reapers for each pregnancy. But as you can see, it got stuck, so now I just make my way over to the door. And you gotta make sure that you are on the door when you try to close this, because if you try to hit the Y button, especially on console, you're gonna end up popping right off. Now I turned on the light pet so we can start attacking this Reaper Queen. I can tell it's a low level just because it's not doing much damage to me. But the other thing is, if you notice, like, we're glowing all over the place, so the torpor is going up on my Drake. And so what we want to do is we want to go ahead and put at least some ceilings up. And in my opinion, it's easier to just, you know, make it all solid, but you can actually put some up like this, going across. And that should stop the Reaper Queen from shooting its shards at you. But that's only going to be good for one side. If we were to go to a different side, like to the left over here, or to the front of it, I guess you could say, then we would get hits. But as you can see, there are no shards coming our way. See, or you would see them coming through. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the Drake off of God mode and go to the front. Alright, so now we're at the front, and I went ahead and did another row going down the line, right down the middle towards the door. See, the little tail does 22, each bite does 5 on the Drake. So that's not bad at all considering how much damage I'm doing to her. But yeah, this is pretty much all you do. And as you can see, one of the shards went straight to the left, which is kind of weird. But this is yeah, this is the bare minimum. But I mean, like I said before, it just all depends on what you want. I mean, in my experience, having an extra 8 to 12 more ceilings, you know, it's not that big a deal. Not that many resources, so having a solid ceiling is actually the best. But as you can see, the Reaper is more concerned about the stone than it is of me, and this is what makes it so nice. Is that you do get a lot of times you do get a lot of cheap shots or free shots, however you want to call it, where it doesn't do anything to you, but you can really mess it up. As long as your light pet is on, and you already gone through the waves of Nameless, you shouldn't be bothered. Once the Reaper Queen gets really bloody, I start to back up. I do notice that I make around 328 damage to the Reaper Queen, so I'm gonna make sure, since it takes 2500 for her to start glowing, I'm gonna make sure that I don't quite hurt her over 2500. So each time I back up and she's not glowing, I go back in and hit her between 5 to 8 times and then back up again. But I know that on unofficial it'll be a little harder, or I'm sorry, on official it will be a little harder to notice how much damage you're doing. So it just depends on the melee and all that. You can look on the wiki and see what the base melee is, and you have to do the math and all that good stuff, which is what I used to do when I played official, and that way I knew pretty much how much damage I was doing. But anyways, I hope this is helpful to you all, but until next time, keep surviving.
My work saved the human race.